You're tuned into news across the galaxy where they talk all things LA Galaxy with the Nag Boys. Let's start nagging.
What a ball for Ricky Peach.
Across the galaxy. Keep on nagging, guys. Your six-time MLS Cup champion, LA Galaxy.
El Galaxy es caca. El Galaxy es caca. Thanks, Chewy. Welcome to this. Hey, check this out. Hey, guys.
Whoa.
Welcome to News Across the Galaxy. We're talking all things LA Galaxy. My name is Eddie.
What was that?
Today, I am joined in studio, a makeshift studio. It's all kind of, last minute.
Con su culo, con caca.
Not to be confused with Eddie Nags. We got Edgar in the house. What up, Edgar?
Hey, what's up, Eddie? How you doing, man?
Yeah, you're gonna ask me that right now?
I think it's just for the entire Galaxy Nation right now.
You know I'm not an AW fan. Should have gone to that event instead.
Yeah. I had a chance to attend that AW event at the Crip. Well, I don't know, Staples Center, and I was like, "Nah, I'm going to the Galaxy game," and well, it's okay. It's okay.
That's all right. We'll get through it together. And on the ones and twos, I got Chuyaso. What up, Chuyaso?
Hey, what up, what up? Doing pretty good
How's it
over
going
here.
over there, bro? How you doing in where are you? Utah?
Utah.
Whatever.
It's fucking cold. That's all I gotta say.
That's how you know we weren't ready. See, now I look better.
Oh yeah, there it is. Well, I mean, as better as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been cold. It's fucking cold.
Nah. I bet it's cold. That's what Utah is. Cold.
Very cool.
Oh, God. I don't have much to stall with. So, is there any housekeeping, anything that we need to cover before we get into what took place tonight?
Well, at least Garces is back. Kinda, sorta, but not really. Right? That's a step in the right direction.
That's something.
Eh,
That's something.
something.
Chewy,
Yeah.
give me something. Talk to me, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, the chat that we had, it was funny because I made fun of the last comment that was put there was Garces. Emilio is the brightest player we have, and then, bam, he forgets to actually run for one play.
Yeah, it's hilarious because I was telling Matt Baker from Flyover Footy about Garces. I was like, yeah, you should see this guy. He just came back against Herediano, and you got to see what a fantastic center back he is. And I was messaging him during the game, and I was like, well, so what do you think of this guy? And then like moments later, that goal happened, that third one, and I was just like, never mind.
Oh, my God. Wait.
Oh my God.
There we go.
There it is. Yep.
Dude, I figured, I think we all knew, and we'll start getting into game right after this, that it was going to be bad, but I don't know if you guys imagined it being this bad, but I sure didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was gonna be this. It was gonna be bad. I thought we were gonna be okay against St. Louis.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you knew the beginning of the season was going to be bad, and you definitely didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Nah,
3-0 against St. Louis. Fuck.
I can tell you just because of the fact that I got to talk to Matt in the midweek show, and I've been following what they've been doing. St. Louis, they have a new coach, they have a new system, and so according to Matt, it's supposed to be more possession oriented. Which, if you look at the statistics, it didn't look like that, right? Galaxy had more possession, but the core of the defense is still there. The Roman Berkey's still there, which is a fantastic goalkeeper. And Matt even said this is the best lineup St. Louis has ever had heading into this game. And seeing how much Galaxy is hurting, I was like, yeah, we're not going to win this game. My prediction was 2-1 because I was like, we have at least one goal in us. Yeah, there were 3 goals in the game, but damn, I did not expect 3-0. That's pretty bad.
Well, since we started talking about it, I guess there's no more
Easy
going
into
around
it.
it, right? I'm over here trying to cheat on my homework.
Sorry,
not gonna
Eddie.
lie. But you know what? Spoiler: Galaxy continues to make history.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, there was a cool thing that happened before the game. You've been a Galaxy fan, you know how important this person is to the franchise. The Galaxy did honor Doug Hamilton for his
Yeah.
62nd birthday. If you don't know, Doug Hamilton, he used to be the president and GM of the LA Galaxy. He actually, crazy, correct me if I'm wrong, he passed away from a severe heart attack on a flight, right? Coming back from Costa Rica, I think,
That's correct.
from a Champions
Yeah, Champions League
run.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I got to meet him actually when I was in the press box.
yeah.
He was very kind, and he gave me like a little Galaxy pin that I put on my lapel. And so my experience with him was he was a really nice guy. When I heard he died, it was. I mean, I'm sure his friends and family closest to him must have been heartbroken. But just having had the opportunity to meet him, what a loss for the Galaxy and for MLS in general because the people like that are hard to come by. And how lucky are we that we now have somebody like Will Kuntz again? You can see how important it is to have somebody with a good mind like that
Yeah.
running things, right?
Yeah. No, and then yeah, I remember obviously I didn't understand the importance like then. I think I was a little young, but I remember I want to say David my heterosexual life partner, Galaxy life partner, brought that to my attention because we both used to have to get the newspaper, because it was really hard to get any kind of Galaxy news.
Yeah.
And you hear about that, or you listen to the S20, whatever your source was. It was a little harder. You didn't have your news across the galaxies and your Kuna Galaxia, and Corners of the Galaxy. So yeah, it was crazy, but it was great to see them honor him. It's not just all about players and your Kobe Jones, Donovans, and all that. The guys that had these front office jobs who were important to the Galaxy. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't expect it. So yeah, shout out to the Galaxy for that. That was a cool moment before the game, and also Lars. Since Saturday was National Women's Day. They had their 4th annual Baddies event
Yeah.
before the game, where they had some cool shirts with some dope graphics. I don't know if you saw the capo box was led by the ladies too, so
Oh
that was
yeah.
really cool.
It's always fun to see that, and kudos to Miss Yellow Art again because she always has like these beautiful artistic design. If you've never seen her art, she's an art. She is known around the world. She's had a lot of murals from and across Europe, Latin America, South America. She has a very distinctive style. I really, really like it. And she has designed some of the t-shirts that Lars has worn on Baddies Day. And she had another beautiful design this time around. You might have seen some of the ladies and some other people too, not just ladies, but wearing them at the stadium. And then she was actually there before the match in the DJ stand. They had her up there with that dude who was like some kind of famous
It's
rapper.
Harry Mack,
Yeah.
please.
Oh,
It's internet sensation freestyler Harry
forgive
Mack.
me.
Brian's favorite artist. That's what Brian's not here. He's in line at the Palladium for the May 15th show.
Harry Mack. I thought it was David. I thought it was your hetero life, Galaxy life partner, David.
That
It
was a
looks
good
like
shout out.
David.
Oh, that's funny. Uh, no, that's funny because like Brian like hated it, I think. But I like Harry Mack. It was just like I wouldn't have put him as a performer. I said it would have been cool to have him walk around because if you've never seen him online, that's what he does. He goes like to Venice, the boardwalk, and he's like
Freestyling, right?
give me 3 words, and he freestyles into them. So as a performance, I'm like, but if he was just like at Soccer Fest walking around, that would have been pretty dope.
Yeah.
It was okay though. I mean, it wasn't bad. I'll tell you this much: it had more energy than Warren G.
Yeah. And his equipment didn't give out either.
Yeah. Yes. It wasn't the worst. Oh, also shout out to League Villains. I got this cool T-shirt from them. Yeah, so check them out. They got some cool gear. I got another shirt somewhere. Maybe I'll do a wardrobe change later. All right, I think that's as much as.
Peel the band-aid.
Yeah, that's it. It's time to do it.
Trying to pick at the scab.
So your LA Galaxy on what felt like very much a Sunday at 4 p.m. game took on St. Louis City at Dignity Health Sports Park. And they came out with the following lineup. They had Mikovic in goal, again, back in goal. Then you had Nelson out left.
Not my
Yoshida,
keeper.
huh?
Not my keeper.
Not your keeper. Yoshida and Garces are your center backs. Harbor Miller, shout out to the young man, got to start at right back. Cerillo and Parente at the CDMs. You had Marco Royce sitting right above them. Fagundes out left. Gabriel Peck out right. And Christian, who's going to probably be a hot topic today, Ramirez, starting on top.
God.
So, guys, you guys saw this. Any surprises here? You know, given you also got to keep into consideration one, we had a game midweek in Costa Rica with some of these guys that featured, and then we have another one coming up, a must win
This Wednesday.
this Wednesday at home.
Yeah, so no surprises to see that they're bringing in academy kids to fill in some of the slots, but so many people hurt, and you want to try to keep the roster as fresh as you can, considering such a congested schedule. Of course, there's so many names that are going to be shuffled in and out, but yeah, it's nice to see these guys coming in and getting some MLS experience early in the season, when you put it into perspective, a lot of people are upset about the result, but this kind of experience helps a lot in the long term, because later on in this season, these guys have match experience, and it's going to come in handy, and it'll add to the depth of the club. But so seeing them there, I was like, okay, I understand. I mean, you have to temper your expectations. I keep telling people that, chill.
Dude, the thing is, it's. I don't think people were upset that they brought in, academy players, or they brought in the youngsters, right? I don't think that was the upset part. The upset part, like for me, when I was watching the game, was that it looked like we were gonna score. Like it looked like we were pushing,
Yeah.
even with his kids, right? We got that hope. That's the thing that kills, right? We got that hope that, hey, even with basically a team two, we could probably tie this game, or we could probably beat these guys. Like that's how it felt.
Yeah,
And
and
then,
that was
god damn, dude, it was just horrible.
that was the frustrating part about it. Some of the people that I was sitting with, and we're getting into the game already, Eddie. What do you want to
Yeah.
do?
No, we can definitely get into the game.
Yeah, some of the
Kinda
people-
just because it was a whole clusterfuck, right? So we can just kind of go through it, and to touch on what Chewy said, or just to touch on something that Chewy said, is the kids weren't the problem,
No.
not at all. If anything, they were the bright spot of this game.
Yeah. You know what it was? It was the finishing. It was just the finishing. And this is something that we have to accept. We have to come to expect this early in the season, when the team is still trying to get used to playing a full 90 minutes, where, you're not going to see guys miss shots like these midway through the season. But this early in the season, stuff like that happens, That shot by Marco Roche would have probably been in had it been like a month or two from now. But it's frustrating, because there are so many good opportunities, considering how much possession LA Galaxy had. And I'll give you the stat: LA Galaxy had actually 8 shots on goal to St. Louis's 5. And I'm not talking about shots in general, just shots on goal. So these shots were on frame, and you expect, well, at least one of those will go in. So there was that sense of frustration. But I remember before St. Louis scored their goal, one of my friends next to me said, man, I hope we get one before the half, because Galaxy doesn't look like a good second half team anymore, not like last year.
They don't look like a good any half team. I actually text another group that Chewy's in as well, I said, and to the point that St. Louis had some shots. It's like we're lucky that St. Louis sucks.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It, believe it or not, it could have been a lot worse. I don't know if you remember there was a save by Mikovic in the first half in the
Yeah.
first post. There was another one where on one the guy goes what like I don't know what he tried to do. He could have laid it off easily, but he decides to blast it and hits the side netting instead. So I mean, it was there again. We're lucky that
They had a post in like the
Yeah.
second half. Like,
No,
come
it's
on.
like I said, people are missing shots that should go in, but then when they finally scored, it was a busted play. The ball was there, lost in the six, and it was at that point it was who gets their foot on it first, as far as like knocking it out or knocking it in, and it just so happened it fell to St. Louis, and
Well, shit.
these guys has
Galaxy had their first in their first. Their foot in their first. It's just they
yeah they
couldn't get it
did.
out.
Well, Mikovic fumbled the ball, man. He had it and then he dropped it, and I think Garces tried to knock it out, and then it was just a scramble to see who could get their foot on it first, and St. Louis scored, and they were very eager to score because they hadn't scored this season yet, so that was our first goal of the season, and it was like a busted play. And
that's damn
Galaxy doing Galaxy things.
that too. And before that, Christian Ramirez, right? He's gonna be a hot topic here. He kind of had
Yeah, he had one.
I saw the replay. You also have to give some credit to Berkey right there.
Yeah,
He's a designated player goalie. I
not
think he's-
anymore. They brought him down from
Well,
DP.
he was
But
right.
He's
So
he is DP status.
He's DP status, right?
Yeah.
He was DP goalie, and that was a big save, right? And you talk about St. Louis hadn't scored all season, and Christian Ramirez hadn't scored all season. You needed you need that first goal for your confidence, right?
Yeah.
And it's like total opposites, right? It's funny how Christian Ramirez is stopped by a spectacular save by Berkey. To be honest, it was a great save. Not every keeper, I think, makes that save. And on the other end, we fucking gift St. Louis that confidence. We gift them the goal. It's like, hey guys, we got you. Don't worry. It's like you got how many swings at the pinata they got there, dude.
Yeah,
and we did it to ourselves. And you know what's the worst part? It comes off Christian Ramirez.
yeah.
The last guy to fucking come off of.
I was texting Matt Baker, right, back and forth. We were texting about the game, and I told him at one point, I'm surprised that Galaxy has so much more possession in St. Louis because you were so adamant about how much. Sorry, this mic is going down. You were adamant about how much St. Louis's possession game had improved since their new manager, and so. That's what I was expecting. I expected them to hold on to the ball a little bit more, but no, it was the other way around. And he's like, yeah, it's true. It looks like St. Louis is countering more. And it wasn't even on a counter. It was just a busted play. Man, and that's so frustrating because this is stuff that you work on in practice, and it's just a moment of chaos. And that's all that St. Louis needed. And like Eddie said, you don't want to give these guys any kind of like confidence, especially on the road. And something else that Matt said was that I think all of last season, I think they only won 1 or 2 games away from home. And there you go, Galaxy being generous, right? Giving San Diego their first win ever. You're letting Vancouver remain undefeated. And now they're giving St. Louis like their first away win of the year when they struggled to win away from Energizer Park all last season. So good job on you, Galaxy, being so generous.
Well, at least we didn't let Klaus score.
Yeah, no, that dude has not scored a goal since March of 2024. Damn.
That's some drop.
And he hit the post. I mean, that's when you're salado, and you hit the post. That's a nice shot.
That too. I'm telling you, it was there. It could have been a lot worse. Oh my god, dude.
But I mean, do you want to get into the goals?
Yeah.
I mean, besides the first one, we already talked about.
Yeah,
the
we
first
talked
one.
about the first one, and then before we get to those two. By the way, such an odd game too. Something's up with this team. Something else, locker room. Something is funky, dude. Something is wrong. That crash by by
Yoshida and Garces. Yeah.
If you guys know me, whoever's listened to this long enough, and you guys know me, is I look off the ball a lot. I watch when like after a goal, I look elsewhere. Right after a foul, I look elsewhere. I look for reactions, and one thing I notice is like that crash happened. Yoshida visibly upset, and at no point when Garces goes back does he like
Go check on him.
Yeah, go check on him or like acknowledges or like, hey, my bad. There's never like that like interaction, right? When you do something like that to a teammate, when you had the whole, vision of of what's going on, and you slam into your captain like that, I would think at least like
Yeah, go say sorry, like my bad,
dab
bro,
him or
like
something,
something.
and it did it, and then
By the way,
I don't know if it's communication because what I was getting at was the goal we talked about already. Right? We forget about a big part
yeah.
that Yoshida and Mikovic collided there. So that's two within how many minutes did that happen apart? It couldn't have been like more than 10 minutes apart.
Now, another thing I thought that was interesting. I know it's like a little bit off the topic, but Garces's reaction to that collision, where like Yoshida went down right away, right?
Yeah.
And then Garces kind of like moves a little, and then he does like a front flip or
Yeah,
something.
WWE cell.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing, bro?
Like the Rock getting a stunner.
Yeah. And I'm like, what was that? And then he was down for a while. And I
Yeah,
was
because
like,
he hit his forehead, I think, and he hit Yoshida's like top of the head.
I thought at one point because of the way he went down that maybe he felt like a lump on his forehead, or maybe he was bleeding, and that's why I thought he did like that very dramatic front roll, whatever the hell that was. And then he stayed down, right? And I was like, oh, okay, like this guy must be legitimately hurt. But then Yoshida never went to check on him, and that's your captain.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, right? Like it's
Yeah.
and it was 0-0 too. Yeah, I don't know. Something weird's going on. Chewy, we got a super chat there, bro. We get some like twinkle dinkle or whatever.
Yeah, I did already. And if Edgar would stop touching the freaking mic, we would stop
Sorry.
getting so much noise.
There, I stopped.
I didn't see it. I didn't see the twinkle dinkle. Can we get another one?
I'm looking for the. It's because I'm on a different layout.
Ah,
So,
Here,
yeah,
Adam's
they need another-
ass.
here I got a special one for you.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
That's the first button that came up. Sorry, no, that's your super chat button. I don't know if I was gonna get to use that ever again. So, Adam, who are to blame for the goals today, in your honest opinion? We're gonna answer those, but we'll start with the first one, right? If you had to blame someone there, is it fair to blame two people?
Yeah, I would play Mikovic and probably Yoshida.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's
it's
fair.
the truth.
I think it's fair. I think
For which one?
For the first goal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
because
More Mikovic than Yoshida, but yes, I agree.
yeah, it's tricky, right? Have you ever played goalie, like and never like practiced? As a goalie, you're six, you kill. Your six is yours. It doesn't matter like who's in front of you, right? Because if that ball drops inside the six, as you can see, that's what happens, right? Yoshida, yeah, and Yoshida.
What the hell was that?
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it after.
Are those
Yeah,
bats?
don't worry about it, bro. Just do the show.
Are there bats
Hey,
in the
there you
NAGn
go.
studio?
Hey, why don't you answer then?
Dude, they sound like bats.
No.
Sorry. No, what we were saying about Yoshida and Mikovic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just it's I know for all the people that for the last year and a half have been clamoring so much for Mikovic. This is like Dayon in 2023 where Chicharito was out and it was like, hey, okay, buddy, here's your stage. Show us what you can do. Show me what you got, right? And so far, what I've seen, I've not liked his distribution. It's terrible. And some of the decisions that he makes really are a detriment to the team. And he's just making a lot of mistakes that I know it's early in the season, but look at Berkey, for example. And he's a far better goalkeeper, obviously. But, at this level, MLS, you gotta do better in this, especially when you have a goalkeeping coach like Gato Hartman. Making sure you get all your drills in there. So Mikovic, that's on you, man.
I don't know if I would ever compare Mikovic to Burki. Like no,
Yeah, it's not,
there
that's
is
not fair.
Completely, completely
there's
different.
so much difference in experience and everything,
And in
talent.
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
By the way, where I was sitting, there were these four guys behind me, and they're German guys, and
Whoa, 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 whoa.
yeah.
so they were there to they were there to watch Royce. But I started talking to them, and then they told me that they were actually in the Dortmund academy, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I don't know how it came up, but we talked about Roman Burke, and they're like, oh, we're familiar with him. They're like, we've actually played against him before, so we know how good he can be. I was like, oh wow, okay.
You should have told him to suit up.
I know, right? Can you guys get in there?
At this point, all right. Chiasso. Oh, I heard the tinkle dinkle. There it is. But is there just no visual? All right. Adam, $5. Oh, look at Globitos. Couldn't agree more about Mikovic. What is going on? What's going to take Vanny to bench Mikovic for allowing 7 goals in 3 games to start McCarthy? One, you can't blame all of them
Yeah.
on him. Two, I think it's now. I think you've seen enough. I think
Okay,
Vanny's seen enough.
five goals in 3 games. Okay, 5 goals.
Yeah, I think I would not be upset if we don't see Mikovic until Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't know if it's because Vanny is trying to save McCarthy for what I think is a more important game, which is the Champions Cup. But these guys are goalkeepers. It's not like they're out there running around the entire field either. But so it makes me wonder if there's like some kind of ding injury maybe that McCarthy has, and they haven't said anything because they you know they have so many injuries already, and they don't want to add to the list. So that might be one reason, but at the same time, maybe it's just Vanny trying to give Mikovic an opportunity to show what he's got during a difficult time in the Galaxy season, so especially so early, to see how he does under pressure. And nah, he hasn't stepped up.
Yeah, and I mean he wanted it last year, right? With all the
Yeah.
supposedly him asking for transfer and all that
All
shit.
the drama. All the drama.
Vanny could have been like, "All right, bro, I'm gonna let you start. Show me what's up." To back up your talk.
And we're gonna get into the goals, but I do want to mention like in the first half, because I think it's because the goals are similar, right? And Spenny had messages this too, is that they kept breaking our lines, they kept finding that opening, they kept hitting us over the top, they kept, it felt like eventually something was gonna give,
Yeah.
and boy, did it.
That was the most frustrating part of all because the chances were there. The opportunities were there for the Galaxy to score a goal here and there. And like we said earlier, the ball just wasn't going in, or Berkey was. See, a lot of people are like, well, Berkey didn't have to do too much in some of those places.
Oh,
It's
fuck
because a
no.
good goalkeeper knows how to position himself before the shot is even taken. So maybe on some of those, he just put his fists up, or he just caught the ball and knocked it down. But he did also make some good saves. But the fact that Galaxy, like I said, got 8 shots on goal and they just couldn't find one into the net, that's frustrating. Because at that point, even if they lost, right? Because I predicted a 2-1 loss. Even if they lost, you get a goal. That's something you could be like, okay, it's a step in the right direction. Even with all these injuries, and you can hang your hat on that going into Wednesday's match. And then once you get past this stage of the Champions Cup, then you can start to focus more on the regular season again. But this next week coming up, and maybe the next, it's going to be a little rough. But I keep telling people, it's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. But for right now, yeah, it hurts, man. And then that third goal, that's just rubbing salt into the wound.
Oh, I mean, we barely at halftime.
Oh God.
I mean, how were you feeling at halftime?
I'm like I said, my buddy and I were talking like, this Galaxy team is not a good second half team, and giving up a goal so late in the half is the last thing you want to do. You always hear it, right? In footballing culture, never give up a goal before the half, because whether you're up or down, it's going to affect the mood in the locker room, and it's going to carry some of that momentum into the next half. And it didn't take very long for St. Louis to get back on the board again. So, yeah, any chance of LA Galaxy doing something in the second half to try like they did last season, right? They came back so many times in games where maybe they had a really bad first half and they came back. We're not seeing that right now. But are we surprised when so many of the guys that were part of that are not there anymore or are hurt?
Yeah. You know what hurts a lot about this game. I don't know. I don't know if we talked about this or who it was with. Where I think one of the things we felt most comfortable with was their defense.
Yeah.
But
Oh my
to be
God.
honest, this has been one of Royce's best games in a while.
Yeah, it has actually.
I think the wingers did fine. Was it Fagundes and Peck? Okay, I guess. Parente did well. I must say though, Cerrillo slump is kind of concerning a little bit because
It's more noticeable now.
they're easy mistakes. You know, they're not like he's being put under a lot of pressure. They're asking him to do something that he doesn't know, or he's trying to hit these impossible passes. It's like the simple mistakes that are like, what's going on with this kid?
Nah, but no,
But
you know what though?
it's the
Like
fact
it's
that
very
I
noticeable
think
that
they were really looking forward to
oh
having
he was cutting
Sanabria
off.
come in and shoulder some of that responsibility in the middle, because you can't replace a Ricky Puig, obviously. You can't replace a Mark Delgado, because Puig and Delgado in there along with Fagundes. I mean, coming off the bench, Cerrillo. That was such a great midfield, right? And then you lose one because you have to, and then the other one gets hurt. And then Sanabria comes in, you're like, all right, he can shoulder some of that responsibility, especially early in the season. And eventually the kid's going to find his feet. He's going to be an important part of the team. And then he gets hurt. And it's not just like a regular injury. He's out for a while. So I think he feels even more pressure on there. And yeah, Diego Fagundes can do stuff, right? And so can Royce. But Surreal, man, you gotta pull your part as well. But I feel like he's just feeling a lot of pressure at this point, and it's noticeable. And he's young.
Yeah,
We forget how young he is, and
Uh,
yeah, he did great against Messi last year, and yeah, he was fantastic throughout most of the season last year. But you know, stuff happens, right? Like look at, for example, just a simple example: St. Louis, great first season, second season, not so much. So stuff happens. So things change.
yeah, no, and one of the things
that
dude,
on
with
what you were saying also is like what chip on your shoulder, right? You now won a title. You were traded by your hometown team.
yep.
Maybe he's having trouble finding that too, like
That
something.
drive.
Yeah, that drive, right? Because again, the locker room is different. He is a young guy, so I mean, all those things could be factors. But for right now, I don't think many of us are happy. We
Nah,
miss
dude,
the old surreal right now. And
but look
hopefully
at
it comes back. And then the
that though.
Yeah, that too.
It,
the number change curse, right? So go back to 20
I mean,
surreal.
it happened to
uh,
Dayon. It
First
happened
year
to our buddy who has it. What is it? He has his own little McDonald's franchise out there in Tijuana.
To Jalen, technically, I guess.
Yeah, to Jalen.
Yeah.
It happens. Anything else? I mean, from the second goal, third goal. Let's get to the third goal, man.
The second goal though, something I want to talk about, right? As much as I want to give Harbor Miller credit, I think you can put a little bit of blame on him. I don't know if it's a little unfair because that pulls Garces out, that pulls him wide, and puts Yoshida in no man's land right there. Yoshida, as smart as he is not the paciest guy. So,
You know what? And St. Louis knew what they were doing.
yeah.
I mean, the moment they see Yoshida is isolated, they immediately target him, and they know they're gonna beat him on that run, and completely undresses Yoshida, and Mikovic is left hung out to dry, and it's a goal. It's as comfortable as a goal as you want. We saw this happen, a couple of times last season to Jalen Neal, when Mickey Yamane was just way out of position, and Boanga, I think it was Boanga, both times came right at Jalen Neal and just punished him. So it's something that it looks really bad on a highlight sheet, but these are things that hopefully they can figure out. But once again, Eddie, something you touched upon earlier is that what is that attitude right now in the locker room? What is that atmosphere like? I'd love to be a fly in the room and listen to the conversations because, there's people who aren't happy. People weren't happy coming into the season. I mean, the whole thing with Royce and Yoshida going off about the league and losing teammates. They're unhappy, right? Yoshida's really unhappy about having to take a pay cut.
That's
That stuff isn't just go away. It kind of hangs there.
That's a good point too, right? So now think about Yoshida's, right? And I know we're going a little off track here, right? But again, I've noticed. I don't know. I see that you guys have noticed too. Something is different, right? How much does that be a factor too? Like Yoshida has now won his first domestic title. He's getting older, and how does he get rewarded?
Takes a pay cut.
Yeah, is he having trouble like now? Because the first couple games, he was okay, and now everyone around him is kind of just, doesn't have the heart, and he's. I don't think he seems like a pro's pro, but at what point do you feel like, all right? I mean, I guess this is like the end. I'm getting paid less. Everyone else is just collecting a check. Why shouldn't I just collect a check? You got Marco Royce here who's getting 1 point something million, who is about my same age, and he contributes a lot less. I'm the captain of this team. And if you notice, he didn't go hand the captain's band either. Tossed the captain's band to Fagundes. I don't think it was like that one. I don't think it was like, oh, fuck you, Fagundes. It was more like a frustration, like,
Yeah.
Here. So I wonder how much that plays a factor too, because he's getting up there in age. At some point, he could be like, he sees the season not getting better. He can start phoning in.
Oh, there, you said it right there. That's the one thing that I was gonna make counterpoint. Well, not a counterpoint, but add to it. But the one thing you don't want to see, especially this early in the season, is for players to just kind of zone out and start going through the motions, where they're there playing, they're following the drills and the tactics that are discussed throughout the week, that are discussed in the dressing room before you head out to the field. But there's got to be that extra little spark, right? That spark of creativity, or that special je ne sais quoi that gets you going during the match. And this is something that we saw a lot last season, and in previous seasons when Galaxy did well, and the games that they did well. And you don't want to see your players phone it in. You don't want to see the players just go through the motions. I was blaming Marco Rocha for doing that in the first couple games. Granted, this game was much better, but you don't want to see that from your defenders either, because then they get lackadaisical, and next thing you know, they're giving up a lot of goals. And like I said, this is an improved Galaxy defense, right? And look at that. They're getting up so many goals.
Yeah, you know what? Good point by it says maybe Aunt. I don't know if that's the actual name, but they have 10 seconds to leave the field. Has nothing to do with being upset. You know what? That's true. He is a pro, so he probably was like, they
Take
still
it.
have a chance. Hey, I was selling it and he's not buying it. I'm trying to make a show here, bro. All right. The third goal.
Almost exactly a carbon copy of the other one, but this time it was Garces. Our Garces, our boy that we're like, we love you, Garces. This is like, did you say, was it Chewy who said it's a very anti-Garces thing that happened? Yeah.
He hasn't said nothing in a while. I wonder if he's just muted or he fell asleep or. But sorry, we keep jumping back and
Chewy's playing Candy Crush again.
probably. There was a big moment that was talking about unlike the Gabriel Peck miss as well.
Yeah.
Again, Marco Royce having one of his better games feeds Marco Royce a dime, and
I mean, Peck. Fits Peck.
Marco Royce feeds Peck
Yeah.
a dime, and from the penalty spot, basically misses a sitter. One that Peck, usually just with 100 out of 100, you think, or 99 out of 100, I should say. Obviously, he missed this one. Would make right a lot easier than the one he made in Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
So
And it wasn't just him, too, Eddie. Elijah Winder had an opportunity. He took a ball. He took a ball like just a little bit to the right of the spot in the 18. And I was like, I saw the pass and I was like, oh, this is it. He's gonna score. Nope, he shanked it. And I was like, dude, it's harder to miss that shot and to knock it in. Oh man.
I'm not gonna make too many excuses for Wonder, but I can remember my thoughts on USL and MLS.
Calm down. Hey, in the end, a goal is a goal, right? And he had a shot and he just missed it.
Well, he didn't make the goal.
Brings his stock down some, but I still think he's got a lot to contribute. But yeah, disappointing to see that not just from him, but from Pack. I keep saying Pack looks like he's out on an island. The few times that he's able to, the ball gets to him or trickles towards him, or he comes down to grab the ball forcibly and take it up the field, he is working hard because other teams know that Pinto's not there. Obviously, Puig is not there. You don't have Jovelich there either. So a lot of teams know they could throw as many defenders as they can at him, especially knowing Christian Ramirez is slow as molasses. Like they're throwing all these defenders at Peck, and Peck is just completely overwhelming. You could see he's getting frustrated, right? Dude, he's like, this guy is close to saying, "Oh, diddly."
Some of this stuff happened before the third goal, right? We need to talk about Christian Ramirez because it all happens before the third goal.
Oh God, why?
There was a play where Royce plays him through, and a
Beautiful
pass. And a touch where Ramirez could have just taken off and been on a one-on-one with the keeper. But dude, the guy was running in quicksand.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
oh my god,
it's like those nightmares where you're running in slow motion and you can't get away any faster. Yeah, we saw that, and as soon as the defender caught up to him, we're like, "No, that's father time catching up to you, or you've always been slow."
Did you remember what happens right after that?
Remind me, because I was shaking my head, dude.
So the freaking booze start pouring in, and then you start hearing the "We want Barry" chats. And it's nothing on Barry, but if that happens,
it's bad.
That's not a good thing.
And you know what? You say his name,
and he'll appear.
Yep.
I believe in Miguel Barry.
And he did.
Maybe ask, do you guys agree that the second half counterattack goals against us have come from having to force numbers up? I like the way we have played in the second half, but coming from behind have hurt us. No, I just think I think St. Louis had figured us out because they were doing that. They were finding that space before we were down, before we were pushing. So,
yeah, another thing you could also maybe point your finger at is, like I said in the midweek show, Matt Baker had told us that St. Louis's tactics so far this season were more possession oriented. So maybe Banny and his coaching staff prepared for that. But what they got instead was a St. Louis team that was counterattacking. And I believe those last two goals were on a counter, right? So, yeah, there you go. St. Louis did what they had to do to adjust to a Galaxy team. I mean, it's like playing chess, right? You think of a move ahead of a move. Because and then Vanny just kind of fell into it, but it's not completely Vanny's fault either. His players have to.
Oh yeah,
they got to make the goals. They got to make the stops. Even with this depleted lineup, the opportunities were there. And this is where maybe something else we can discuss later on is why I'm not completely thoroughly upset. Like I said, I knew going into this game they were going to lose. But I don't feel like it's the end of the world either because as bad as they were, they could have won this game. And the scoreline does not reflect that, obviously.
Yeah. I get what you mean. There was some positives to take away
from
it. As bad as the 3-0 looks on paper. But let's finish off that third goal. And then we could do awards and then we can go off on some freestyling.
Awards?
Yeah, we got to give awards. Yeah. I don't know what Chewy's doing. Chewy has not turned on his mic. I wonder if we're like gonna crash right now because nobody's producing the show.
All right, Chewy.
No, mic is on. It's just I don't know.
Do you hear him? I don't hear him.
I don't hear him.
Yeah, he's gone.
Strange. Oh, maybe it's my headphones that are out. That'd be hilarious if like my headphones died on me.
Because I should be able to hear him, and I can't hear him. So anyway, we digress. Third goal, Eddie. Can you walk us through that, please?
Yeah, like you said, carbon copy of the first one. This time instead was Garces. Though he gets burnt on that. He actually let me look back here because I want to get it exactly right. It's he gets caught on a 1-2, right? He doesn't follow his man. Da, 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 da.
And he lets the guy get behind him. He lets the guy get behind him, separating him from the goal. And once he gets into that position, the all you got to do is just get the ball to the attacker, and there's nothing Garces could have done at that point.
Yeah, that sucks. No, but yeah, like it's like I said, it was the 1-2, and then Garces. I think he kind of makes like a wrong decision at some point. He kind of just leans a little left, and then with that one step, Garces is a super fast dude. So
Yeah.
that's not very. It was a lot of uncharacteristic things today, right? The Peck, the Garces. Well, I guess the first Royce running a lot,
Yeah.
all uncharacteristic, right?
I mean, that last goal, one of the frustrating aspects is that as a center back, you're always told to keep yourself between the player and the ball. And it went the opposite way for Garces. He got just, the player just got by him, burned him, and then by the time he tried to react, it was too late. So that's frustrating because we expect so much more from him, but he'll make some mistakes, right? He's still young. But like I said, all this stuff right now, it's not too concerning, right? I would focus more on what they're gonna bring on Wednesday,
Oof.
and I'm very positive about Wednesday. And then next weekend you can, like I said, shift your focus back to MLS play and see how that happens, because I get the feeling a lot of players are gonna start coming back. Little by little, we're not going to get all of them at once, but maybe we'll see Nascimento, maybe we'll see Yamane come back. So
I got some questions for the chat, by the way.
All right, let's go.
There's a few people in the chat. So Wednesday, in Indianos, right? That's the name.
Herediano, yeah.
Herediano, it's gonna rain. Tickets are not included, or season tickets. I want to know, just a thumbs up or just whatever you want on the chat. Who's going to this game? Who plans on going? By the way, right now, if you do plan on going,
Not me.
there you go.
There he is.
They're not. They're listed at $40. So don't buy them now. I guarantee you, with all those things happening, they will drop drastically. I personally think I will go if they get down, and I think there's a possibility to like $5.
My God, if it's rain with this kind of weather we had right now, by the way, the weather today, when I left my house right out in Diamond Bar from one area, it was kind of chilly. I get to the stadium and it gets really warm. It's like in the high 70s, and I'm wearing a thermal, and I'm like, man, what a bad choice, right? And then toward the end of the game, the temperature just fell off a cliff. It got cold really fast. So I'm walking around the parking lot, and I'm like, yeah, everything's coming up Millhouse. But yeah, if it's rain and it's the kind of weather we just had, those players are gonna be shivering out there, man. And if you're in the stands and you just happen to get wet, sorry,
Poncho time.
poncho time, man.
I got a
Some
question.
champurrados, right?
I got a question for everybody. By the way, I read this somewhere. It made me laugh. Maybe you could answer it. Somebody please explain how we turn our clock 1 hour forward. Wait, it was forward, right? This week. Forward.
Yeah.
Only 1 hour, and all of a sudden, somehow, it becomes dark at 8 p.m. It's only somebody explain that,
I don't know, dude. It's witchcraft.
right? All right. So
Is it dark over there, Chewy, or can you see the moon?
no, do they have like 3 days of light or some shit like that?
Because I heard you can't see the moon when you're up in that latitude. Is that true?
The moon looked amazing this morning when I was going to work. It looked like extremely close up over the mountains.
You can almost touch it.
Hey,
Whoa.
I don't know if you want to do that.
Okay. So let's do some awards.
I guess.
All right, cool. If you guys want to, I'll start. I'll do Geo. Game is off. There's a few to pick from. That one is you know what? I'm gonna go with Cirio. Because I want to give it to Ramirez, but this is the only Ramirez I know so far. So Surreal's game has been
but you know what? Nah, dude. Like, go for it. Go for it. I'll talk my shit.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you got your shot, man.
Yeah, you get yours. Surreal's man, we all fell in love with this kid, you know, and this he now looks like a 20-year-old homegrown. Now he's
Yeah.
playing like a 21 homegrown, and I hope he shakes it off. He's one of the lowest rated players in this game. Funny, by the way, Brian said in his thoughts, which is hilarious. I don't know what he was on. He said Mitrovic gets tested early and answers correctly. Cirillo directing traffic in early parts of the first half. Good sign in his development. Yeah. Garce's speed is phenomenal. Roy's taking the lead and feeling himself a bit late in the first half. Seems like trust Cirillo as well.
I think this was this his thoughts from a game last season.
That's what I'm saying. This is his first half thoughts apparently. So
This must have been from like sometime last season.
yeah. I hope you're not driving.
Sorry.
But anyways, who wants to go next? Chewy, since you were talking.
Yeah, go Chewy.
I'll say
Deal?
it. For me, it's Mikovic. Yeah, it's just bad. And the only thing I gotta say about Cerillo is I said it a couple of shows ago, or it was the last show, I don't remember. But this dude, I feel he has a lot more pressure this year because he's the main guy they go to now to pass the ball. And like I said, sometimes you're good as just being another player. You don't like you don't necessarily are good as a leader. And he's being put as a leader role by him having to distribute the ball, by him having to be that player that they send it to. And you know what? It might just not be his thing. Like there's nothing wrong with not being able to move up yet, right? He's still young. He might just need more years to be able to be that player that you always depend on, right? That you can pass the ball and you make the decision of where it goes. Like it might not be him yet. So I
True.
think it is a lot of pressure.
We saw that
Chewy's
with
just defending his fellow Texan.
we saw it with Dayon, right? When like he was like, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yeah, you're coming off the bench, scoring these nice goals and garbage time, and maximizing your minutes. But once you're put like all on your own, it took a while for him to figure things out, and he didn't look happy for most of that.
Hey, and Dejan was saying it. Cedillo never said he wanted to be the best player, the biggest player. He just was thankful for being in a fucking in the galaxy and shit and everything. But yeah, he never, at least publicly, he never said he wanted to be that player.
Maybe said it in the locker room with somebody, pissed him off. Nah, I'm just speculating. I kid.
Who you got, Edgar?
My boy Garces.
Your boy Garces.
Yeah.
Garces, that's interesting.
I mean, it was. There's two things that really stuck out, and we already discussed them. But the first one is his collision with Maya Yoshida. Like I've always said, center backs, man, you gotta be thinking what the other person's thinking at all times. You gotta be on the same page. You gotta be able to finish each other's sentences, that kind of stuff. And they've played together long enough. They were there together throughout the playoff run and MLS Cup and everything. So they're supposed to have some kind of chemistry there. But the fact that Yoshida's reaction, and then later on, seeing him just make such a big mistake. Granted, third goal, right, looks bad, but there's always that opportunity, right? You scored 2 goals, bang bang. We saw it happen in the Philly New England game, where it was scoreless until right in the end, and Philly scored 2 goals right after each other, boom boom, and they won the game. So what's not to say that LA Galaxy can do the same, right? Score a couple goals at the death or in injury time, but that third goal just completely sucked the life out of that building. So sorry, man, your game was off.
Damn, that's surprising. Not gonna lie. All right, let's give some good ones out, some positive ones. You got heart, man. I'm gonna go with Parente.
What is that? Comment.
There's a comment here. You can read it out. I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird. It says cheap viewers.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's some random comment. Not even worth mentioning. Anyway.
Oh. It's funny.
Well, why did you mention it if it wasn't worth
Yeah, you already
mentioning?
mentioned it.
Because
YouTube,
it just popped up, and I was like, "What is this?"
YouTube filtered out, but the but the
But Edgar had to go and say it.
yeah,
Hey,
Edgar.
hey, hey! I didn't finish the whole comment. Okay.
Just yeah, clicking on those links is not usually the best idea, Edgar. So you
All
know.
right, Eddie, you're next, man. Go.
So anyways, Parente. I think Parente had a great game. You know,
Yeah.
he definitely was one of the brighter spots.
And how old is this kid again?
Uh,
What is he? 16?
Parente tiene. Let's see. Is he 16? Really?
Or am I
I don't
thinking of
think.
someone else?
No,
No,
he's
that's
number
Harvard
16,
Mitter.
fool. There's a
Okay.
difference. He's number 16. Nah, Parente's like 34, fool.
What is he like? 12?
Tampoco no te pases,
Nah,
güey.
he's 24. He's 24.
Is he 24?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ah, there
He
you
old.
go.
He
I mean,
old.
that's as good as it's gonna get, right? But he had a great game. Doesn't take away the fact that he had a great game.
But he technically is 16 because he's number 16.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
So there you go. I
true.
wasn't wrong. How
He took
dare you?
he took a page out of Chewy's book. Technically, he is 16. No, but Parente, no, he was great. I like a lot what I saw. He had a lot of confidence. He was turning on these guys a lot into open space. He did a lot of right things there. Where hopefully he's going to be serviceable when everyone comes back, and we need that break when we make that long run into the League's Cup or whatever the hell we're going to get into. But what do you got, Chuyaso?
The same. He was a really bright spot in the field, man. Like we said in the beginning, the kids were not the problem. They actually were really really good, all of them. So yeah,
Edgar?
Valente.
Yeah. You got hard, man. I'm gonna give it to Johnny Nelson. I just felt that he had a good solid game against his former team. I saw him go up against Klaus, and Klaus is a big dude. He's so big he could probably pat Nelson on the head, and Nelson didn't care anything. He just went up to him and he's just bodying him. So good on John Nelson. He did his job. He continues to play the same way he played last season. So that's what you want to see from your entire team, right? He gets the assignment. He understands, and I just wish the rest of the team was on that same mindset as he is. So yeah, the guy's got heart. He shows it every game.
All right, I'll let you go first. We'll go Snake. The next standing. You can only pick one. You could only pick one, Edgar. So
Oh God,
choose
really?
wisely for this game.
Okay, Marco Royce. I feel like Marco, like you said, Marco Royce had his best game in a while. I've been a big critic of him because I felt like he's kind of been walking through games, sleepwalking through them, not really having a lot of energy. And I don't know what it was about this game. I did see you and I ran into some German journalists outside the stadium.
That's just good.
Like I said, the guys that were sitting behind me were guys from the Dortmund Academy. And I did see a lot of people wearing Dortmund gear. So I don't know what it is about this game. But for some reason, Royce decided to hey, I'm gonna have a guten tag, and go out there and show everybody what I can do. And he had a pretty good game. He almost scored. He almost got an assist. He was making some nice passes. He looked like whenever they gave the ball to him, he already had a sense of purpose, what he was gonna do. Um, Obviously, he kind of faded towards the second half, and he had to be subbed out. But um, one of his better games in recent memory, and I know recent memory goes all the way back to last season,
Yeah.
but
Like 5 games. He only has like 5 games total.
yeah. But what I'm trying to say is he looked more comfortable when he had Ricky Puig alongside him, and we haven't seen him have this kind of level of comfort in a while. So seeing this out of him, I hope we get to see more of this as the season progresses, because it'll take some of that worry off at least my mind, that this guy without Ricky Puig, without Delgado, he's not gonna really do a lot. But he showed today that you give him the ball, he'll get the passes, and he might even score. It's just his teammates have to also back him up.
All right. Chuyaso?
Same. Marco. He played like a man that knew he had eyes on him today. Eyes from Germany. So he played like, hey, if we lose, it's not my fault, right? Like I did my part. That's how he played. And you know what? It is his best game as a Galaxy player. I feel I haven't seen a better game from him in as a Galaxy player. So, uh, yeah, it's he did he does good. Does boot is good.
The boat
Hey,
is good.
you know what? I'm already laughing because it's a stupid thing. Me and one of my friends, shout out to my boy RJ, say to each other, guys, don't be sad, because sad backwards is Das, and Das is not good.
Stupid.
Wah, 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 wah.
So
Uh,
stupid.
Marco Royce, yeah, same.
There it is.
Marco Royce is definitely, I think, he was the best player on the pitch for the Galaxy today. Right, he was the most dangerous. Every time there was any danger, it's because either he was creating the danger or creating the danger for Christian Ramirez to miss. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we get more of this Royce. Hopefully this is not a one-off, and he just felt like because there was eyes on him. Maybe he didn't even know they were there. I don't know.
You never know.
I doubt
So,
it. Yeah, I doubt it.
but whatever, we'll spread the rumor every game that they're there. So hopefully he plays.
Yeah.
But he didn't have much as a preseason season as everybody else. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna be hopeful that now his legs are back under him, and we're gonna see this week in week out, or as long as he can stay on the pitch. So
By
But
the
if he
way,
can if he can give us a half, fuck yeah, I'll be okay with having him in for 45. I don't mind.
by the way, as we're segueing out of this segment, I was wondering what you guys thought. Like, was there a particular reason why he only played one game in the preseason? Why he wasn't out there with his teammates earlier?
Because he's
Have you
old.
guys heard it? I mean, because I haven't heard anything.
I imagine that the age, the experience, and his season just like paint sales is extra long, right? So I think it's hard to tell someone. I'm assuming he has kids and family, maybe, or family in Germany. He kind of got up and left, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of quick, so maybe he needed to go home, sort things out, whatever. And if someone like that asks you, like, "Hey, I need extra long time," you went the distance. You know what I mean? So I think it's a lot of those factors.
Well, I mean, he was riding a bike just a few days earlier on the boardwalk,
Yeah,
talking about the league.
I mean, it could be like spending time
He
with your
just yeah.
family.
He just
That's
wanted
true.
days off too,
Like
right? Like
like imagine you move you and your wife and your kid to another country all of a sudden, and you can't help them adjust. You can't be there for them. It's like, oh, I got to go to work now
Yeah.
every day. Oh, I got to travel away every other week. You know what I mean? And then you were doing that for how long without a break?
Like 18 months, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you're
hey,
just guessing.
hey, no bullshit. Like Marco, if he just walks around like in the boardwalk and anywhere in the beach, I don't think many people would bat an eye thinking that he's like somebody famous.
Um,
He doesn't
if he's
look
in if
famous.
he's in Manhattan Beach, I feel like people, or that's Santa Monica too. A lot of people will recognize him because
Yeah,
he's
but
been playing for a long time. Tree,
Yeah.
he was a big name.
And we get a lot of tourists. Somebody eventually is
yeah,
gonna be like, "Oh, hey, Marco."
he goes to Downey, Huntington
More,
Park. Nobody's
more,
gonna
more,
fucking know.
more than
Oh,
more than more than Giroud, right? They had to plant those fake ass girls running to recognize them on the documentary.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
We got another super
super
chat.
chat.
Super
Yep.
chat.
Twinkle Dinkle. Yeah, there it is. Hey guys, is there a midweek show for Portland?
I'm working on that. We have our good buddy Lewis, who covers Club Leon for the English podcast, Lions Den podcast out there, and he is a Portland Timbers fan. And in the past, he's joined us. I have to contact him and see what his availability is because he also plays for the Symphonic of Leon out in Mexico.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so he's a very talented individual, and I don't know what his schedule's like, but I will hit him up this week, and I will keep you guys posted on that. Luis, our good buddy from El Fiero Viajero, from Club Leon.
By the way, another fucking Sunday game.
Another Sunday game?
Yeah, it's Portland is on a Sunday.
Oh god, they always lose those too. Oh man.
Hell yeah, 0-4, baby.
Yeah, I don't think this one is like, oh yeah, oh we always lose on these games.
Oh
No,
my god.
we're just bad this year, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't apply this season.
Ah man, those games in the Pacific Northwest, like in the middle of the day on a Sunday, oh those are bad, man.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be coming off the Indiano game, and
Yeah, on
you'll probably won't
Wednesday.
see. I wouldn't play Royce on that fucking carpet.
Why not? Just let them go
Nah,
like all 90 minutes.
No.
at this point, no, I don't think we can take that injury.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No more. No more. All right.
9.
So we're done with the awards. We got some questions. We got 3 questions. We'll go through them. Actually, one is more of a comment. 2 of them are more than are like comments. Sharky 14. Christian Ramirez is a Timo Chicharito Chicharito. Boy is thick in a bad way. I don't know if thick could be bad.
I didn't think so
I
either.
don't know, man. Are we talking like chicken nuggets here or what?
Nah.
Yo, you know what? Yeah, I take it back. That's thick in a bad way. Chicken nuggets.
Hey, you know what's funny, dude? I just made the connection of chicken nuggets with Efra and with sorry,
Stop
and
moving
with
shit, Edgar. God damn it.
Dominic Mysterio.
You're dumb.
Okay.
So that was one.
Mi
of them.
sucio, Dom Mysterio.
That's me right here. So next one, Jeb the barber. It's not. Oh, this is interesting. Not Mikovic's fault. We just suck, and it's making him look bad. Interesting take, huh?
Well, I
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
yeah, a little bit of both, but his distribution is awful, man. Oh my god, there was this one play in this game where like I don't know why they passed the ball back to him, and I was expecting him to try to just put the ball up the field or give it to somebody on the opposite side of the field, and instead he waits for like the St. Louis the player to be almost right on top of him before just knocking the ball out of bounds.
I
I
I
feel
feel that about 70% of the goals against us this season, he has had a part of it.
Down, Edgar. Edgar's all excited to be back in the studio here. Sorry,
For
guys.
real, it's like
Um,
Edgar, stop touching shit, and you just start dropping it.
He's like the little kid. Yeah,
He popped out of my ear.
but I get what he's saying because there was no guarantee with McCarthy starting today that it's not 3-0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we will never know.
Never know.
Okay, let it go.
Technical
You're making more
difficulties.
noise than you need.
You're not gonna ask
Sorry,
what my
guys.
name
Sorry
is?
for the audio listeners.
how old are
that
you,
have
Edgar?
headphones. Pokesaurus underscore.
Pokesaurus.
Great name, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Lose Wednesday or potentially get embarrassed by Tigres in the next round. Fuck, pick your poison, huh?
Man, they gotta get a win any way, which way possible. Yeah. As far as the Herediano game, what's up, Chewy?
I prefer to lose to Tigres.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer to lose to
Yeah.
Tigres.
It's more
Uh,
decent to lose to Tigres than to Herediano.
Yeah, at least, even if we get killed, you were like, oh, it's fucking Tigres.
I mean,
bro." You
Tigres
know?
still has to get past Cincinnati, right? So we'll see about that. But yeah, LA Galaxy against Herediano. I'll keep repeating this because I think it's really interesting. The champions from Nicaragua, Real Esteli, went to Herediano and they beat Herediano there. I'm just thinking, man, this is Nicaraguan soccer. You know, if they can do it, you know, a depleted Galaxy should be able to defeat these guys. So, and if the focus right now is on the Champions Cup, you're gonna go out there and with the best lineup available and try to take that game. So I'm not too worried about that game. That's why I'm positive. I think the Galaxy's gonna beat them. Herediano, those guys are used to a nice, very
You're still not going to the game.
environment, and they're not gonna be ready for that rain and that cold weather. So it'll work for us.
All right. I hope so. I mean,
I don't think our players are ready either for cold weather and rain.
Yeah, that's true.
let's kind of get to the end of the show with that. You know, what do we think? How do we think Wednesday's going to play out? Edgar kind of touched on that. Do you got a score?
I think Galaxy wins 2-0.
2-0. It's guy said a shutout,
Yeah.
and we're gonna score 2 goals after what he saw today.
Yep.
Chewy, is this man crazy, or do you agree?
Uh, I want to say that the Galaxy win because I want them to go ahead, but I feel it's gonna be a tie, so we lose.
Damn.
Damn.
And we out.
Chewy.
Yep.
I think we're gonna make it through.
See?
I'm gonna agree with Edgar, but 2-1.
2-1. That'll get us through. No,
No,
actually.
won't.
It
No,
won't.
you need
That'll take
you
us.
need
That'll
it.
take us to penalty kicks.
Fuck. No,
Yeah, you
wait.
need a 2-0.
Oh,
They
that's
did it
right.
close.
You needed 2-0. That's right.
Fuck
Yeah,
it, 3-1.
you need a 2-0 or something.
Chris-
Yeah.
Christian Ramirez hat trick, baby. Here he comes.
Oh, by the way, there was something funny I just used randomly of. At one point after Garces got hurt, right? He kind of jogged towards the bench because he has to be out for a bit. And I saw Sauleta run up to him, yell something to him, pat him on the back, and run back. And I remember like telling my friend, I bet you that Sauleta telling him, "Hey, fool, don't get hurt, because if not, they gotta put me in."
He's the stick, bro. Or my friend Zoncaleta over here.
Don't get hurt, fool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
Well, guys, Edgar, you don't have any preview show for Wednesday, right? I mean, we kind of
No, not really. I mean, I have a lot of stuff on my plate already, but if I do come up with something, I'll let you guys know for sure. As far as the Portland game, like I said, I'm gonna talk to Lewis and see if we can plan something. I'll keep you guys posted on that as well. So yeah, as far as that's concerned, that's what we have.
Cool. All right, guys. Oh, actually, one thing I just remembered that we didn't talk about. I mean, we could touch on it. I don't know how much how much we should be alarmed or worried. The Galaxies, what is it, GAM?
Zero,
Zero.
the superhero.
Zero. But
Zero,
there's also
zero.
TAM and RAM and
Yep.
Jam and other stuff. There's other mechanisms. I wouldn't freak out too much.
Jam, Lone Star.
I think once this team gets a little healthier, we'll have a better idea what this team actually is. Now it's going to be a little longer because we lost more pieces. But don't freak out. Right? Don't freak out yet. We knew it was going to be a slow start. I said earlier, I didn't know it was going to be this bad, but
This is like when you play fantasy football and all your players start to get injured, and then you look at what's left and you start picking up whatever guys you can find, and they all suck. And next thing you know, even though you had like the highest rated team going into the season, you're in last place. Damn.
Johnny Russell, come play for free, bro.
Right?
He's
Nah,
a free
dude,
agent.
I'm still upset at the crooked freaking midfield. I don't.
On the TV because they repainted it. I think it showed
Yeah.
more on TV.
Yeah, it looks
Nah.
it looks way off. Like, why is the line off from the cut grass, but then the boxes are on the grass? I don't know. It's weird. It's just odd looking, and you can see they repaint it because you could see the paint, the other old paint there. I don't know. It's just come on. If the field crew couldn't get it working, the Galaxy can't get it working. Like, what the fuck is going on with the whole organization?
Yeah, it was just an off day. Oh well. All right. Well, that pretty much does it here for us. Thank you everyone for tuning in on this Sunday night. I hope your day is going better, outside of the game. If you want to find me on socials, you can. Edgar, where could they find you?
Oh, I was gonna say, I want to thank everybody that came up to me and say hi today. Who was it that was doing the ribs outside the stadium? Because that
Oh, the Inland
was
Empire guys. I forgot.
that was delicious. That was
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. The yummy food. To everyone that said hi to me at the stadium, and also I want to thank all the St. Louis fans that I saw. There were a bunch of St. Louis fans there, and they were all really really cool. And before and after the game. So people are saying, well, of course they're not going to be happy. Well, yeah. So I ran into some before the game. They were really happy. They were really nice. They were glad to be out of the weather. I can think it's really cold in the Midwest right now. So thanks to all of you guys. You guys can find me on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram as Edgar Nags, all one word. Eddie?
Triaso. You know what it's time for.
Oh, you guys can find me as Chavez JA, Chavez Ha on all my social media. It's pretty easy, pretty simple to find.
Yay!
Yeah. So, thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. Keep looking at our socials, looking out for our socials for the midweek show. Edgar's trying to put together a lot of great stuff. Gives you good insight. Gives you a good insight to the team that's about to beat us.
Oh, I almost forgot. The first part of my kit reviews is out.
Oh yeah, first part of the kit reviews article. Go check it out. You know, you see if you agree with Edgar's rankings of these kits, and yeah, he goes really gets into it. If Edgar had more money, he'd definitely own every jersey.
Nah, some of those are pretty ugly this year.
I've seen the way you dress.
Oh,
Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in.
Why
We're
am I
about to
catching
get ready
strays
to
here?
call it a night. I hope you guys have a good night. Get that hour of sleep because
you'll need it.
you're gonna need it. You got to catch up on that sleep we lost last night. My name's Eddie. For Edgar and Chewy, we're gonna get up out of here. Till next time. Keep on
Wu-Tang for
nagging.
life, baby.
On
Settle.
NAGn.
Yeah, though.